of Mandahashu Workers Union and the leadership collective that has gathered workers under the union of Musa, which is a union that is organizing community workers in a majority of provinces in South Africa. The leadership of the Progressive Civic Congress, the leadership of Mkondo Sizwe, and most importantly, the
Mashiane Politicallyincorrect, that was Floyd Shivambu. But I think maybe at the end of this, let me show you what Floyd one did at Musa. So people are saying, is this the right move for Floyd? Is this how Floyd should be going? Shouldn't Floyd just rather resign while he still has his credibility? But you'll see the full clip at the end. But let's discuss what I discussed with Comrade General Patrick Sindane. I spoke to Patrick. He's doing his exam, so we could not come into studio. Those who know, he has been here before. But we spoke about Jabulani Khumalo, Duduzile Zuma, Floyd Shivambu, the possibility of forming another political party. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me start with the first question. I asked him about Jabulani Khumalo and if he should, because he claims he's been defrauded, and maybe he should form some sort of a coalition to fight back with and join Floyd. Because if you hear Jabulani Khumalo, those who have not heard, follow the 2 podcasts that we have done since then. If you follow Jabulani Khumalo speaks and is very antagonistic to the camp that's at the hands of Floyd. Why do I say so? I say so because he also talks about our figure, the ones who came after we elected. But anyway, let's listen to what Patrick Sindane says, then I'll come back.
My name is Patrick Sindane, and thank you for having us on your show. It's always a great pleasure to be discussing these issues. Well, look, man, Jabulani Khumalo is raising very serious allegations. And in a normal democracy, these issues must be tested, both politically and legally. And we must appreciate the fact that he has been consistent. He has been consistent in waging this battle, and is doing exactly what all of us should be doing. If we think that we've got facts, we've got issues that needs to be tested, we must bring them forth and allow the necessary platforms to deliberate and help us reach a particular conclusion. I like the fact that he has been consistent and that he's not a coward, really. He might appear like a soft gentleman, but in all honesty, you can see that he's not a coward. He's not a man who raises sharp things, serious things, big allegations, and then hides. Even in the middle of intimidations, scare tactics, bullying, and so on, he still says, but I feel strong about these issues, and therefore I'll continue fighting and raising them, regardless, and which is something that I think needs to be applauded. But the issues that is raising equally, especially with the current political happenings within the MK, all these issues that is raising, and the manner in which MK has been handled, has been ran, has been administered, all these issues give some sort of credibility to the allegations raised by Mr. Khumalo. And I want you to hear me very well. I'm not saying it's correct. I'm saying from a distance, all these things that are happening within the MK, they give some sort of political credibility to the issues raised by Mr. Khumalo. And it will be very interesting to continue observing from the sidelines as to what is the ultimate end. But we're starting to see some sort of a revelation process. And like I said, it will be interesting to see how this whole thing, ends.
So, quickly, let's go back. I asked him, what should members do, those who are within and who feel Duduzile Zuma disciplinary hearing is not happening? Should these people resign, or they should fight their battle within MK? And this is his response.
On the issue of what the members of MK should do, especially in relation to these issues of the disciplinary process, that Duduzile Zuma, it's only fair. It's only fair for organizational processes to make it easy for members to challenge certain things they feel aggrieved on. And if indeed MK is a democratic party, then there should never be a problem when members of an organization say, look, we are for discipline. We agree 100% when it comes to issues of discipline. And discipline, when it's applied, it must never have eyes. It must be consistent. So, me and you seated here will both agree that there's no disciplinary process unfolding. Really, there's no disciplinary process. If there is, then its time is expired. It allows us to take a certain conclusion, which might not be necessarily be the conclusion in a real sense of things. But it leaves us to speculations. We'll have to make up our own minds. And some of us are of the view that really there's no democratic process that is unfolding in relation to the discipline. Yeah, to Duduzile Zuma. I cannot speak now as a member of MK. I'm not a member of the MK. But I think they must continue challenging those who believe in transparency, in discipline, in honesty, in holding leadership accountable. Because the mistake that we're doing is to think that only general membership and grand forces must, display some sense of high level of discipline and then behave as if leadership is immune from being disciplined. The issue of Duduzile gave the MK, especially President Zuma, an opportunity to demonstrate and put the issues of nepotism, favoritism, family arrangements to rest. It does not matter how you want to look at it. What Duduzile did to the SG then is uncalled for. It was supposed to be dealt with seriously and organizationally so. Because there's no doubt there. It does not matter how frustrated you are. You have brought the organization into disrepute. You might not like Floyd, but you must respect the office. Must respect the organization. Must respect the constitution of the organization. So the leadership had all the necessary tools at their disposal to handle Duduzile properly. But they became cowards. They became cowards because they always wanted to appear to be, very diplomatic and understanding, but also, look nice in the eyes of Duduzile and the president. Separate the party from individuals. That's how political parties continue to die in South Africa. History teaches us if you don't apply discipline consistently, you run a risk of leading only those who agree with you. And those who agree with you might agree with you for two reasons. Either you are correct, whatever issues that you are raising make sense, and they feel strong that they are worthy of their support, or they're benefiting something from you. And that thing that they are benefiting, they don't want to lose. And as a result, anything that threatens that relationship, they will never want to take that risk. So I think the party lost a very great opportunity of demonstrating that this is not a Zuma stock fair. Of demonstrating that if we have to choose between you and an organization, the organization must always come first. If she can do that to the office of the SG and the SG, not tell us about how she views Floyd, how she likes him or not, personal issues that we don't know. If she can do that to the office, anyone who will occupy that office must rest assured. There's a leader there. She has demonstrated that there's leadership that will lead you. You will be appointed, lead, and still be led, but through a back door. So it's up to them, really. Whether they stay or not, I think it's a decision that they will have to think very hard. If the environment is still the same, and if there are politics that can still be pursued, and whether they still see the MK as a proper political vehicle that can help us achieve what we've been trying to achieve for all these years.
Are you ready to join a political party? The political party that has Floyd in it. Very interesting answers, but just listen to him, the way he unpacks it. Let's see, I think the rest of you will just hear, and then we'll also be able to hear the rest of the Floyd speech. And tell me what you feel about Floyd himself. He's suspended, he's still within MK, but he chooses to go to a union. Let's see, Mashiane Politicallyincorrect, Etada.
Brother, you can only join what exists. So I'll be doing an injustice trying to respond to that question. You can only join what you know that exists, and I really don't know. I hear people talking. That he is not leaving the MK. I hear people saying he's leaving the MK, but he's not going anywhere for now. I hear others saying he must start his own political party. So, and my politics are not centered around an individual. I don't subscribe to politics of personalities. For me, it's not always about who. It's about the what. So I don't know if the rumors that is starting something are true. I don't know what is this thing, what it represents, what is the political ideology, the position in relation to, Africa as a continent, it's international politics, the posture, the economy, really. So there's nothing really that one can fully respond to, because I don't want to speculate. I prefer saying, look, here's what we're confronted with, and then we're required to respond, and then we give you an honest response. So I don't know. I will be unfair to myself and to those who will be watching this podcast. I want to give clear answers on questions. And so as far as I know, there's nothing to join. I'm at home, I'm relaxing. And of course, I'm observing what is happening. 30 seconds it's too much in South African politics. There are always developments. And we're alive to that fact. And it's extremely interesting what is happening currently. And it will continue to be interesting. But as for me, I have not decided really what is it that I need to do, except the fact that I'll still be in politics. I'm not giving up in politics. I believe South African politics can still work. I believe that we have not really achieved anything except political freedom. And as much as we still have the energy, we've got no luxury of sitting and mourning. We still have the energy to mobilize and fight. And therefore we'll continue trying to contribute in trying to change the lives of our people and ourselves to say, look, this is not what we tolerate. We'll never tolerate the conditions in which we're subjected to, the conditions the masses of our people are subjected to. And therefore, sitting and doing nothing somehow gives ammunition to those who think that they've arrived and can continue taking advantage of our people. So I'm not giving up on politics at all. I'll still be active in politics. We'll decide and announce my next move. But 100%, I will still be in politics and try to contribute. So, yeah, that is the long and the short of it. And you see, what if the real question should be, will Floyd join a party led by Sindane? Why are we always supposed to follow? Let's say I had that interest. But of course I worked with Floyd. He led in the EFF. We led together. He led in the MK as an SG. So that question has been answered. Because I'm not interested really as to who leads. Of course, it plays an important role also, I'm not putting that thing all of it aside. I'm simply saying, but for me, really, at the core, is what? If it's that something that represents what I agree with, policy-wise and all that stuff, why not? Why not? I'm not going to join it because it's him. If you start something that I agree with, that makes sense to me, and I feel strong or no, it's worth supporting, why not? So if we're all in politics to serve, help our people, all we need is a vehicle and ensure that it's steered toward the correct direction. And it does not pretend to be something that it's not. It must always be honest, transparent, represent the aspirations of our people, and have the will to fight. Think twice about selling out the masses of our people. If we can have such a vehicle and we agree that this is the vehicle that we must all support, why not, really? So, I will join any party that makes sense to me. And that question that I asked you, why must we always join? Can't we lead Bandarona? So, on a lighter note, I'm simply saying, look, I believe in the what, not the who part. The what makes sense to me.
Viva Mandahashu Workers Union of South Africa, viva! Mai Buye! Ya Africa! Mai Buye! Ya Africa! Mai Buye! Ya Africa! Mai Buye! Ya Africa! Long live the fighting spirit of the June 16th generation. Long live! Long live the fighting spirit of Tsenzi Mashinini. Long live. Long live the fighting spirit of Musa Makubo. Long live. Long live the fighting spirit of Khotsosi Ashula. Long live. Amanda. Away. Two. No, thank you very much. Sanbonane. Mulweni. Tobela. Amsheni. Ninjani. Thank you very much, President of Mandahashu Workers Union and the leadership collective that has gathered workers under the union of Musa, which is a union that is organizing community workers in a majority of provinces in South Africa. The leadership of the Progressive Civic Congress, the leadership of Mkondo Sizwe, and most importantly, the workers that have joined us here from different parts of Gauteng to talk about June 16, 1976. I was speaking to the president earlier, President Robert Mwende, and asked him as to how many provinces does Musa exist in. And he said it's in Gauteng, in the Free State, in the Northwest, in Limpopo. But we do not have yet a proper existence of Musa in other provinces. This is despite the fact that in the whole of South Africa, workers who are organized under the expanded public works programs and the community workers programs face the same conditions. So comrades, you will know that until a week ago, I had a full-time responsibility as a Secretary General of Mkondo Sizwe. Now I do not have any full-time responsibility. So I said to the President, I'm coming to volunteer to be doing work of Musa in the whole of South Africa. I came to volunteer